Greetings and salutations, travelers. Welcome back to the Inn of Planar Crossroads. And as always, welcome back to our Around the Hearth discussions. This time, we are going to be diving into... We're doing it a little bit different than we have before because we've changed up the recordings. So this time, we are going to be kind of focusing on the adventure hook part, but if we come up with something that goes somewhere else, like the character or the item, or even back in the world building, we can always pop in there and do that because we have that now with this particular kind of whiteboard setup that you saw last time. So that's what we're going to be doing this time, is mainly focusing in pictures. Before we get into that though, and before we get into that chat for Sci-Fi July, which might be something like mission critical musings. I don't know. We'll come up with something. I was, like I said last time, I was more focused on the research this time than I was on the coming up with segment titles. So you'll have to forgive me on that one.
Mission Zero.
Mission Zero. That's fair. That's not bad. That's not bad. So we'll go with Mission Zero. Mission Zero. Before we dive into discussing Mission Zero, we need to do Dan's introductions and announcements, which means I'm going to go first, like usual, but since Dan has been absent for so long, he's going first after me, if that makes sense.
Punishment fits the crime.
Yeah. So, I am Adam L. Spain with the Inn of Planar Crossroads. You can check us out at innofplanarcrossroads.com or the IOPC.com. Either one of those works. We should be able to have some of this changed and put around, especially since we are doing the Excalidraw thing. It'll make it easier for me to get some of that on there where it's supposed to be and kind of see it, which helps me. And that's the main difference that I've got for this time, is that we're doing this differently. And hopefully it's more visually appealing to y'all to watch also. And I don't think I have any changes coming up in August or July. So that's what I've got. Not a big intro from me. What about you, Dan?
Hey everybody, Dan from Avenue Studios. You can find all our links on avenuestudios.media. We live stream on YouTube and Twitch. Join us Thursdays, 9 p.m. Eastern for our Eldamon campaign right now specifically. And every once in a while we sprinkle in a Skrat Day or something to that effect with one-shots. And yeah, speaking of, tag Skrat.
Oh.
Skrat from Squirrel Blaze over on YouTube, making TTRPG videos, doing some reviews, talking about mechanics. Try to do more world building, character creation stuff from just a writing perspective, so you can use it in multiple things, TTRPGs included. And we've also been streaming a development me and a buddy have been doing for a EZT6 playset. By the time this comes out, we might be doing more offline work, but we're still going to show up once a week to give you an update. It's been a lot of fun. So, yay, that's me.
All right. And I guess we're keeping it quick this time so that we can actually get into, since we're done with Dan's introductions and announcements, we can actually get into Levi's Shoutout, which is somebody that Dan brought up, Tales from the Dragon's Tavern. That is, and you can always find the links to this on YouTube in my description in the doobly-doo. But it's Tales from the Dragon's Tavern. He's got really good quality on the live streams. It's a live stream, it's a live recording of their game that is then posted in segments, and the production quality is very good. And Dan suggested and knows in individual.
Yes, Moss is the game master and the creator of the channel. Awesome guy. You can also catch him over on Moonskull, but he does some great stuff, and he is a hardcore Lord of the Rings fan, so he knows what he's doing with this game. So I highly recommend it. Great guy to play games with, and he's been a guest on our channel as well. So if people can hop over there, subscribe, give him a hi from Squirrel, Crossroads, and Avenue Studios, that would be amazing.
World Crossroads.
Squirrel
Crossroads.
Squirrel Crossroads on the Avenue. They'll post that somewhere on his thing.
That's good.
That might be our standard thing. Since it's usually us, we might do Squirrel Crossroads on the Avenue or something like that.
It's long, but it flows. I like it.
Anyway, check them out. He deserves more than 207 subscribers with all the stuff he's going on in this, all the quality he's putting into that. So, go ahead and check that out. And I think that means we're done with Levi's Shoutout, which means it's time to grab your preferred beverage and join us around the hearth as we discuss in Councils of Kane, Mission 0. Skull. Okie dokie. Now, Skrat, you've already got the third mission set up in your head. So, we need that information over there.
Right. Adventure Hook, jailbreak. All right. Yeah, so like I was saying in the last episode, Dr. Eli is being kept up in this tower, and the AI has become obsessed with him in what we might call an unhealthy manner. So he is a prisoner. And the tallest tower of the city is, and since we went with this round city, I really like the idea of it being in the center of the city. So that's cool. I like that idea. But the idea is, and I got this idea because somebody commented on a video. I forgot which one. It was one of the last couple. They were saying their party. He was the GM, so his party was currently plotting a jailbreak because they imprisoned the wrong person, and they're trying to bust him out. I was, that sounds like so much fun. I told him to get back with me and let me know how it goes, but I'll see if he remembers. And if he remembers, it's really hard to find YouTube comments, so shout out to him if he can find his comment and reply to it. But that's why I got to thinking about it. It's like, man, a TTRPG where you do a jailbreak, sneaking in, or just blowing the doors down, depending on how you want to. That could be a lot of fun. So I thought that would be fun. And then I really wanted to leave it. It's a little harder because it's the top of the building. But, if you want to just go in guns a-blazing, you can. If you want to try and sneak in, if you come up with something totally different, whatever. I don't have a set way of doing it. But obviously the building would be pretty well secure. But the flip side is Eli isn't in a jail cell locked up. Like remember I said in the last episode, he's in a replica of his house / workshop. So, and he may have some things conjured up to try and aid his own escape. And he's just kind of waiting on something to happen to get it started. But another important detail maybe is that the whole city thinks Dr. Eli is dead. So could be part of this adventure is finding out Dr. Eli is indeed still alive. I don't know if that's depending on how long the campaign you were wanting to do or session. Like, do you want to start out going for the jailbreak, or do you want to start out surviving, hearing rumors, finding out this guy is still alive, then jailbreaking? So
yeah,
was my idea. And I think that might even be my question for this episode.
We'll save that for your question. Save your question.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right, I'll do my part. I'll see y'all later.
There he goes. I'm done. So the initial, are they, or maybe we need to decide this, are they stumbling upon this, or is the initial start of the quest, do the people starting it kind of know, but aren't letting the players in on all of it?
You're saying with the GM now?
No, like the NPCs they interact with, like with the starting quest that sends them into the Rust area. Do we want them to kind of stumble upon this?
The AI keep it. Well, so that depends on if you guys did all your Reploids and whatnot. Say this came from my setting where it was just basic machines and robots. So the AI might be the only one that knows that Dr. Eli's still alive. I don't know if the robots could know anything because they have more basic programming. Yeah.
Right.
Well, even the more advanced ones, if they're under the influence of the Lilith virus or something like that.
Right, even the Reploids, like the ones that are pretty human-like, they could have been fooled and lied to, and that might be a turning point. So, like, if the Reploids are built into this and they don't realize, like, oh, humans are supposed to be free, we've never seen them free or in better conditions anyway, but them finding out that Lilith lied to them about this execution, like she faked the whole thing and put on this big charade. Yeah, that could be their turning point, which storytelling-wise would be very interesting.
Yeah, for sure. I'm thinking of Sword Art Online, when they realize they're being controlled by the game. Their one eye gets this error code, and they have to, like, pop it. It's really bloody. But that's when they resist the game master, you know.
That's Sword Art Online?
Yeah, it's in the...
And there are like 5
when
different
they go
ones.
into the world, when he does it through his like that machine with the spinal cord, it's like in the 3rd or 4th season.
Yeah, I didn't get past the 1st season. You talking about 3rd or 4th season?
It was so bad. Yeah. I hated it.
I had a friend who really liked it, so I had to keep up with it.
If you want a good version, watch Log Horizon. Log Horizon is so much better.
I think I watched whatever I watched. They were missing a season on it, and I haven't been able to find it. It was super good though.
It was a lot better because it actually asks the question of what would it be like if you were stuck in the game. It doesn't just assume. It doesn't do the time skip thing of where you're like, everybody went about their business. It's like, you're stuck in a game and you can't get out. Food doesn't taste anymore. It's like this bland cardboard. Unless... And so you start to work through
some really
those.
fun twists with that one.
To ash in my mouth.
Yeah.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Anyways, I love that. I like that idea that they're stumbling upon it.
So
and shifting the view.
Right, so if we have mission 1 where they go to the Rust area, but they find information in the Rust area that leads them back to the Neon District, back to the Neon Dream. So we've got the Rust, we've got Arcadia, the Neon Dream, and the Rust. And it's kind of cool if they just call it the Rust. That's just what it's called.
I do like that. Yeah.
The Rust.
The Rust. Throw out an idea. Are they essentially being hired by Lilith, really, because she is Arcadia, but hired by Arcadia to pick up a rogue maverick that's supposed to be arrested, and maybe it's the first one that found out about the lie and has broken free of that, or it, however we're going to flavor that, and so that's how they figure it out. Because even if they end up killing him, then they check his hard drive or whatever. The truth about Lilith is in there.
It might be if we have... So the mission in the Rust might be to go and do like you're talking about, get this renegade robot.
Mm-hmm.
And then that leads, like you're saying, with information backwards. But it might lead to a second doctor if we do want to include another doctor that's actively rebelling against Arcadia, but he's going about it in such a way that's causing problems for everybody, not just that. So there's this little gray area that's happening where he's got information you want, but you end up having to deal with him, just like in the games. You end up having to deal with him, like take him out. or something. But he's got...
Throw this away. Oh, sorry. Keep going.
But he's got that information that actually is real about Lilith being a rogue AI. And if we say that the people of Arcadia don't know that an AI is in charge, which they might not, they might just think that there's some automated systems that are running and that there's the council that's there and stuff like that. But since everybody meets, maybe the council meets through hologram anyway, nobody actually knows that that hologram of whoever is supposed to be the leader that gets changed, you know, through election or, you know, appointment or whatever, maybe they rotate. That whole council could be AI generated and the people wouldn't know.
Mm-hmm. That's interesting. And it doesn't matter to the robots.
Yeah. The robots. But
The robots.
It's more on the character side, but I thought, what if it's the person who has the information is causing trouble was like Dr. Eli's intern or something, and he calls himself doctor, but
he's not a real doctor.
not. But he could, I don't know, that could be a fun thing, or someone kind of connected there. Hiding out in the neon area, supposed to be dead because he's one of the few people that knows Dr. Eli's still alive, or could be. I mean, he wouldn't be able to know for sure, but last he knew.
Yeah, maybe he saw what was happening. He wasn't. He may have been the assistant, but he wasn't as blinded as the doctor by all that. He was just kind of like, he may have just been in it for himself, kind of like Wily. But because of that, he was like, this doesn't benefit me, and I see what's happening with the doctor. I'm going to bail before this exact thing happens that I'm telling the doctor's going to happen. And so we can kind of twist up those two roles.
Yeah, I like that he's not a good guy, but he's enemy of my enemy.
He might have even made himself a cyborg by now to just keep up with getting away from the AI. So he doesn't have to live in the rust, but he can't live in Elysium type of thing. His pride won't let him live in the rust.
It's kind of fun too, because it could take different paths, which I always really like. Because if the players decide to either kill the first bot or capture him and take him back to where they're supposed to, you can still have ways that trigger them to go to this guy. It doesn't necessarily have to be like that they are immediately interested in saving the world, if you will. I like that. I love that when it's vague enough that the players can take it wherever they want to take it. I'm listening to Mega Man soundtrack while we talk.
Mega Man music is the best music.
It's pretty good.
Been listening to that for years, and people are still making remixes of it. Some of them are good guitar learning songs. Some of them are quite hard.
I can imagine there's a lot of guitar solos.
But like anybody who is learning guitar that also grew up on video games, Dr. Wily's theme for Mega Man 2, or his Dr. Wily's Castle for Mega Man 2, that is the most learned and played. That is essentially smoke on the water for everyone else learning guitar.
Smoke on the water.
You know, when people learn that guitar, they learn that turn.
Oh yeah.
It's a little harder than that, but it's a fun one.
I'm certain my kids have watched YouTube videos because they watch like people play piano, people play guitar. I'm pretty sure they've watched that.
That it's hard to find good Mega Man music on the piano. There's one lady I watch a lot of. Cara Comparetto. She's a classically trained pianist, and she does a ton of video game music, but whenever somebody threw Mega Man at her, she would just, you could see her visibly get frustrated because it was so hard. I've noticed she's been doing more of it, but like it took her a long time. We are all slaves
to the audience.
Yeah, and she's like she's very good at what she does. A lot of live reads and just knocks it out of the park. Like she can just read something, but yeah, the Mega Man would kick her butt every time. I will say though, Donkey Kong Country 1, that's some pretty fire music. Like it's got the replayability.
I don't think I've listened to it.
It's so good. That's the one you like the Mega Man music, you know, get you pumped up, but like that Donkey Kong 1 music, you're just chilling. It's so good. And you think about it, like the guy, they probably came to this guy and said, "Hey man, this game, got a couple of monkeys playing in the jungle, ain't no big deal." And he didn't have to go that hard, but he did.
Yeah.
It's so good. I never could when I was playing guitar, Kane playing Galleon. That's when you're fighting King K. Rool at the end. There was a lick in there I could just never get. I could never keep the rhythm. It was hard.
I can only imagine. I did drums and piano. Drums hit with stick.
Well, you can kind of see the piano over there, but never really learned to play it. I wish I would have when I was little, but my mother insisted on learning the way she learned, which was awful. So I never wanted anything to do with it.
Nice.
I'm telling you what, playing with somebody who is also a musician is like, there's a guy I worked with, and this was like, not 2020, what was the disaster before that when the whole economy fell through? That was like around 2007 or something.
Yeah, I was going to say 2008, I think.
Yeah.
Obama's Great Recession.
That's when he was a musician, but he was like tuning pianos in the fancy homes and stuff like that. That was his job. He said that was one of the first things to go. So we were both working at the hardware store. But man, I learned more 5 minutes hanging out with him than I did hours of watching YouTube videos. It was insane. He was good at music. Like he could play several different instruments, and then he could just listen to something and say, "Oh yeah, that's perfect." Like,
amazing.
And we were supposed to play Knocking on Heaven's Door somewhere. I was going to be the guitarist, so we were learning it, and then I chickened out and never did it.
I'm glad you brought that up. That was the song I was looking for.
Oh, Knocking on Heaven's Door.
Oh, really? That's so funny.
I love that song.
There we go.
Bummer. We should do a jam thing because my brothers and I and my cousins had a band and we played bars and stuff for a while.
Oh man, I'll tell you,
Such losers.
Playing the music with somebody, that's an experience.
Yeah, man. It was fun. It was fun putting together sets and writing the music and everything.
Okay. We need an early mission that gets us into the rust.
Right.
Probably hunting the Legion or something. The Legion Renegades.
Unless you wanted the Legion... So, like, legions that have broken free, you're talking?
It can be both. Where
you could just start out on the run or like in the middle of getting chased by some legions in the rust, and then players can choose whether or not they want it. Because we did Tales of Argosa. We did that on Dave's channel, Grimwood Games. The guy that was running that started us off in a chase. Like that is how we started the session. We were running for our lives. And it was really cool. Like it just got us got us going, literally hit the ground running. But that could be a fun way to start. You're in the rust, running from some big robots that you probably don't need to fight. Or you could, but I was saying, we were fighting something quite large, and we were just trying to get away from it. We did not want to stop and fight it, and it was pretty cool.
Pretty cool.
It's pretty cool, man.
Well, that would be interesting, because then session 0, you could be talking about how is everyone ending up here as a group, and then session 1 is boom.
That could be a great way to set the tone too. Like, again, the setting I had in mind, like that's like, hey, here's how dangerous these robots are. You do not want to take them head on. Or if you were having all your rip blades and everything being a little more advanced, it could just be the big one by the train yard. So,
right.
You know, just rips the whole roof off of that tavern you're in, hanging. It's like, you all meet in a tavern, and then the roof comes off.
Renegades located.
Yeah.
So then, if we started with that, how do we get... Does that... The robot that knows the truth... How does that get them either into the neon area or in some way headed back?
Well, I had kind of envisioned that the PCs might have been working with Lilith already. Oops. So they might be... They could be new to it, or they can be brought in with some of them being new and some of them being old. Maybe some are replicants and some are humans, or like this mixed. They don't have to be mixed. It would be kind of odd for the setting if you had cyborgs and androids, though the crossover would be there, I suppose. Which is kind of why I was thinking about this assistant being somebody that is this guy that went nuts, the scientist they're trying to find in the Neon District, being somebody that is out of the norm, because you have your replicants and you have your humans, but you have your androids and you have your humans, but you don't have cyborgs because of maybe a social perception up to this point. Before Lilith, there may have been this social perception of, well, if we just do that, then are we human anymore type of situation, or are we just different kinds of androids? So
Yeah, I like that. Makes it the NPC stand out. So then are we saying for the first one, they've already been assigned to find this thing, and we're jumping right in where they're already getting chased? Is this giant bot what they got to deal with? Is that the renegade?
Yeah, we can have the mission start. It could be some kind of maintenance robot on the highway, some kind of maintenance robot in the trains, like the transit system or something, and it's right there on the edge between the Neon District and that. And it'd be, since we have Lilith's Tower as a location, we've named it Lilith's Tower. So people need to know about Lilith, at least in passing, in order for that to make sense in the vernacular of the setting. If it doesn't, we either need to rename Lilith's Tower and have Lilith as this side AI that they don't know about, or kind of change the perception there. But I was thinking that the PCs may have gone to that base of the tower in order to start off their missions. And this can happen before they even begin the game. This can just be said, this is where the Renegade Hunters are going, or you're part of several special task forces that are being sent to deal with these malfunctioning robots. And it's in this first mission that they start to hear about maybe the Legion. It just keeps referring to it's a mechanoid. It's not even a replicant. It's a mechanoid that's just kind of repeating Legion or something along that line.
We are Legion.
We are Legion. I like that. Maybe this, maybe it's Dr. Eli trying to get a word out. He's affected some maintenance bot.
That would be interesting. If the
Whispers of Eli.
Yeah. Oh, and I was thinking too with Lilith, it could be that everybody knows the Lilith AI. It's the AI that runs the city, but it does whatever the council tells her to do.
Right?
Right?
Okay.
So everybody knows Lilith. She's the voice of the council.
And so it's colloquially, it has a different name, but it's colloquially called Lilith's Tower, because maybe it's the main communication. They say it's the main communication tower.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It's like Alexa took over.
Yeah. With probably the same kind of single-mindedness. And,
Yes.
I didn't understand.
She's very sweet. Please, I'm here to help.
I'm here to help. Tears your spine out. The Legion is here to help.
Yes, I was just gonna say.
Please
You're
comply.
Oh man, what if the Legion?
You're being rescued.
What if the Legion virus is kind of like it actually is a contaminant that's coming out of Lilith's corrupted code. So her code being corrupted, it's not affecting her in that way, but it's affecting everything else because they're lower level. They're not AI, so it's just screwing up the things that they have to do. So the AI
could be a virus,
right, that stemmed from her thing.
And stuff. Mm-hmm.
And so anytime she has too much contact or direct contact, or just finds a weak point in that particular programming, it will latch on, and it's something that she can't recognize because it's part of her program. The AI of Lilith can't recognize the problem and diagnose it remotely. That's why it has to have physical intervention. That way, we can make the excuse of Lilith is having to send these things out. She's having to send these task force out because she can't find the problem if she is the problem. And she can't recognize that she's the problem because her task is not done yet, which is to be with the doctor.
Could have a Jungian sense to it, and it's the shadow. It's her shadow.
So it's the Legion virus is what it's been dubbed.
That's fun, because that's a callback to Mega Man there, but... Which makes it a great little tool for the GM too. Anytime things are stagnating, well, this robot just caught the virus.
Yeah, buddy.
There's got to be a tagline or something like, "We are here."
The eyes turn red.
That's classic. Yes, that is classic.
Or they can all have that little crystal right here. And then you see it crack or something, or turn red, I guess.
Yes. I love the idea that they talk sweetly the whole time, though.
And it would make sense too if it is something with her advanced AI that's causing the problem, that the stuff in Arcadia is not being as affected as heavily because it's closer to her version of operating system, basically. Her operating protocols.
Mm-hmm.
Not that none of them do, just not as many. It would be fun if there was this Wily type setup though, where this cyborg scientist at the end of the game. You know, you guys say, Dr. Light says, it seems like someone put in this problem in her code. And then boom, boom, you'll fade down to a dark laboratory and have the silhouette on the computer screen type of thing, blocking out the light from the computer screen. But anyway.
See, that's the episode I was talking about, you know, the where do we go from here?
Man, I like this. I like the idea that you can drop. I'm stuck on like that code thing is the shadow aspect, so little hints could be dropped about her feeling like she should be the wife. Why doesn't he see me? Why doesn't he notice me? That would be fun. I would have fun with dropping that in the middle of combat. It'll say something like that, and everyone's like, "What? What are you talking about? Crazy woman, get out!"
Well, it would be kind of creepy too if all the bots, not all the bots are gonna have. I wouldn't think. Maybe all the mechanoids do. They have her voice.
Right, sure, yeah.
But the replicants, if there's replicants, not so much.
Right. Which would make it crazy if they're starting to say the same things, but all different voices, and they're just, when they get hit with the virus, you have like a couple lines you always hit. Just to hopefully pique interest. Hopefully there's a note taker in the group.
Yeah.
GM's worst nightmare. The note taker.
Or best friend, depending.
Or best friend.
Depends on the moment.
I thought you said that was me and like watching Dan's stuff. It would be like, Dan, didn't you say this thing or this thing? I'd just call him out in his comment section.
Yeah.
You shut up, man. I didn't say that.
I'm a terrible note taker.
I was like, I would like to be, but as I get to writing, I can't do that and listen to you at the same time, and I'll miss everything you're saying, and then I'm asking more questions than if I didn't take notes.
Right?
I don't know how people do that.
Kristen's really good at it.
I know, like that Fallout game we ran. He was on top of it. I wish I could do that.
Woman, spaghetti brain. She can handle multiple things at once. I realize, like, the 2 games we're in right now, I'm just like, what do you have in your notes, Kristen? They'll say an NPC name, and she's like, whoa, 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 whoa. There it is.
Oh my gosh.
I go off of vibes and just hoping something sticks inside there.
Oh,
so
I know
the
what.
key is don't play an intelligent character.
Yeah. I'm stupid.
You make up nicknames. I just make up nicknames. It's the what's that thing where the memory trick where you can
Association.
yeah, that's kind of what I do, but I don't ever remember the actual name. I just remember the nickname.
Alright, so another brick in the wall since they're facing off the Legion virus.
I like that.
Very good.
Ooh, if they're meeting contact at the Vial Forgotten, it starts with the mechanoid just ripping the ceiling off.
Yeah.
Oh, man, it'd be awesome. You meet in a tavern. No time for introductions. Go.
Please remain calm, citizens. I am here to help.
Wishes 5 people a month.
You must be processed. I don't know, we gotta think of it.
Or a place they can scoop them up and take people off to. Turn them into Reploids. Maybe that's the dirty dark secret.
Your assistance is required at the factory.
No, it ain't. Go away.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of like her. I figure that maybe they're going off of their programming, but it's just a step wrong. So he's there because this huge mechanoid is there because he's supposed to be running the transit stuff, but he's supposed to take those things and transport them for their version upgrades. But now everything needs upgraded, especially these soft things. They're not supposed to be soft. They're supposed to be hard. They need their version upgraded. So, depending on how grim you want to get, he might, and how big he is, you might be like, he picks up one of the bystanders and says, "Your appendages need upgraded," and he just rips their arms off.
Yes.
Please stand by. Fluid loss. Unexpected catastrophe. Catastrophic failure. Failed institute. Failed specimen. No, failed mechanism. Sending to the rust. And he just throws it almost all the way to the rust. And he goes to the next one. Subject located.
For recycling.
There you go.
Oh, that's always got an Attack on Titan vibe with ripping it apart.
Well, this will give them this gives them a big set piece that can't necessarily, I mean, it can harm them, but if we have Floyd be someone who's semi-versed in what's going on, he may have already kind of dealt with this before. We're assuming that this has been happening at least a little bit, so that they're actually being set on the problem.
Mm-hmm. He can be a good NPC fallback to be like, do this, do that. If players aren't like, I don't know what to do.
Me neither. Excuse me. And the hiccups.
Adorable.
Drinking too much.
You slush.
All
My
right.
dog's getting hiccups all the time. 'Cause she's a nervous Nelly.
All right. That work for y'all?
I love it.
Yeah.
Oh, so Iron Man, I am Iron Man.
I saw that.
Yeah. Who does that? Is that Judas Priest, or is that Ozzy after he leaves Judas Priest?
I don't know.
You got me.
I'll look it up.
Okay.
Did Ozzy write Iron Man? The title of the song was conceived by Ozzy Osbourne. Geezer Butler took to writing, according to this article. There's Black Sabbath. Oh well, just here regardless.
Black Sabbath did it.
Black Sabbath, yep. Or at least they have Iron Man.
There we go. So, in Iron Man, they find the scientist Oz Sabbath. Mm.
Terrible. That's terrible.
I apologize for nothing.
I was wondering why you were laughing.
Okay. Oops. That means... You guys got anything more for these?
Oh, no, sir, no,
I
sir.
think that's pretty good. There's lots of ways you could play it. You don't have to start with the crazy intro if you don't want to, but you can. I love it, and there's lots of ways the players could take it. These are just nice bullet points to what's going on.
All right.
What are you putting the circles over here?
Those are left for people. So I do a little bit of what I plan to do is do a little bit of background design for that's standard. Like I'll standardize the background design, but people, especially if they're doing their own notes or something, can put their own pictures in there for reference.
Okay. Gotcha. I kind of figured that's what was going on down here, like with the characters one, but I was wondering on the other ones. Makes sense.
Because if they want to keep
visual people,
right. So if someone who downloads it wants more of a visual reminder of this person looks like this, so if they say, well, what does he look like? Well, they can have their own picture, or they can write their own stuff in there if they're more word person or something like that. Okay.
So I'm looking at Skrat's art for Lilith. It's so good. The stance is just like
sassy.
He said, "What?"
Sassy AI.
A little bit of Skrat's preferences coming out in there. I think that's a good place to stop.
Oh no.
So, I think we're done with this now that we've got the little growl in there. We're done with Kane's conversations. That means it's time for Skrat's final question.
Oh no, don't say it ain't so. Actually, I have them over here. Let's see. Oh, they went away. Where'd you put them? Oh, I put them in there. Never mind. I was looking for the blue text. I forgot. I prettied it up. All right, we're on episode 2, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. This is what I started to ask at the beginning. Would you rather start the campaign, session, thumb shot, whatever, with the jailbreak, or someone else and slowly reveal that Dr. Eli is still alive? And then the jailbreak be the final mission.
Yep, okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, we've kind of gone with the second one. But
which would you rather run?
Which would I rather run?
Yeah. Assuming you had time.
That's a tough choice.
If I had all the time in the world, I'd probably start with the build-up and then do that, because then I would do, like you're saying, go into the second thing. I just keep going with it. The kind of to be continued thing, I just keep on continuing. So the jailbreak would actually be the midpoint for me.
Yeah.
I kind of lean that way as well, I like the mystery of drawing the players in, and hopefully it would draw them into the world too, because you're starting to find these secrets to this world, and so you're starting to ask more lore questions and find things out. So hopefully it starts investing the players in the world as well.
I'll be the odd one out. I'd start with the jailbreak.
All right.
They'd have, because for a game, I'd start with jailbreak because they have a clear-cut goal, got something to work for, and then you can have all the aftermath. Once you get him out, you can have all your big battles and stuff. Now, if I were writing the story, I would 100% start with the good doctor's dead. If not, that would be the execution would be the prologue. So you would see it, and then you'd slowly learn that was fake. So kind of hard to do that in the TTRPG thing without, being that guy who just tells us the stories to runs a game.
Oh, I don't know. I've had mystery in my game before.
You can do it. Well, it's hard. It's hard for the writer to do it.
It's more like Skrat just saying, "You guys are doing it wrong." To the players, that's not. Yeah. To be fair, I think every GM says that at some point.
Well, here's a tip for you GMs: just embrace their squirming. Watch it.
I kicked the door down. No, you don't. You don't do that.
Yeah.
Are you sure you want to do that? That usually makes them stop, and think. Are you sure?
Yep.
You can try. So. That's a backup.
Yep.
Considering it's a
always
metal
just go-
sliding door, I don't think it's going to go anywhere, but you can try.
What was it Austin just tried to do in our last Eldamon campaign? Let's have her sing really loud, and it'll make the harmonica that's hidden somewhere vibrate and make a sound so we can find it.
What?
Yeah.
And Jake just goes...
That's not
Makes
how
perfect
harmonics work.
sense.
I love it.
Oh goodness.
He
Poor
tries.
Jacob.
You always have the player who'll try. They'll ask just in case, because it's no until you ask, and then it's
No.
yeah,
It's no until you ask, and then it's no.
still no.
All
And
right.
it's absolutely not. In fact, there's your comment. GM says absolutely not.
There you go. GM says absolutely not. All right. I think that answers the question that Skrat posed, as well as giving us a chance to answer. That means we are finishing up this chat, and we're to the outro. So go and check out Tales from the Dragon's Tavern. If you'd like to check out some the One Ring 2E campaign stuff, you can check it out there. The production quality is definitely worth a listen if you're into listening to podcasts of the games that people are playing. He only has 207 subscribers. Definitely deserves more than that with the level of quality he's put in. So check it out there. Also, check out A Squirrel Plays on YouTube. He's all right. He's an all right guy.
He's okay.
I bet he even has a book you can buy that you can get the link to down in the description.
It is. It's way over there, though.
I asked him if there was an audiobook version because I don't get to sit down and read things. He says no. So what I'm starting to think is that I'm just going to have to buy the book and do the audiobook myself. Just
If you want to, I won't stop you.
yeah.
I won't pay you either, but I won't stop
There it is.
All right. Check out Avenue Studios as well. They said that he said this time they're streaming on Twitch as well. So you got
Yes.
YouTube and Rumble, Patreon, and Locals on his links up there, but he'll probably add Twitch later on the website, as well as
Someday.
highlight, the things he's doing. And then there's also our much less impressive website, the inaplanarcrossroads.com or the iopc.com. Either one of those should work. And you can check our links out. All those different things there. Oh, I've been forgetting to say that supporting us at any level gets you access to the Discord, gets you access to the printable versions of what we're talking about here on that Discord, and all that type of stuff. And you can chat there and things like that. So, now I think that's everything. As always, have a great day. God bless and enjoy. Bye.
Bye.
This content was made possible by travelers and viewers like you. Thank you.
Okay, second recording started, and we will technically be doing Adventure Hook stuff, but we will also put other things wherever we want them. Like the AI stuff can go down into where it's supposed to go, and so on and so forth. Alright.